going nuts. We don't know what else to sing about. So I'll throw in something. The clock is ticking and time to start the show. What time it ends, we just don't know. Hopefully Mrs. Dufresne doesn't wake up. Oh, Mrs. Dufresne. Once in your served, we're all happy friends. And all together the fun never ends. So stick around and watch with us. It's the After Show Chat.
Get your butt to bed, Harold Dufresne.
Oh, hey, Grace.
Oh, hey, what's up? All right, Angela, we're going to get started. Are you ready?
Yeah. Give me those. Give me these.
Oh no!
Give me that. There. That's the haircut. Just kidding.
Done.
Getting started now.
I'm here to pay your soul. Specialize in rock and roll. I'll put you up to stay. I'm late on you today.
See?
That's sick. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a long thing.
Yeah. Okay, look at me. There we go.
Hey, Grace, how much for that haircut?
Oh, put the intro there, Angela.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm Severus Snape, and I implore you to watch the after show chat at 9 p.m. Central Time on Sunday nights on YouTube, unless otherwise notified. I'd say this because I think it would please you.
All right. Angelo. Wow, you got your hair cut.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Ooh,
There it is.
I haven't.
Wow. It looks cool now that it's like been there. When did
Yeah.
you get it cut?
What's that?
When did you get it cut?
Got on Sunday last week.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
It looks really cool. And it's
It
really
looks like-
different.
and you've been hiding it this whole time. I never saw it. You surprised us. You never even told us.
You were calling me Mystery Man. Was it because of something else?
Another thing that you did to yourself this past weekend, I guess, or this past week.
Let me just describe your haircut real quick because it's like pretty unique where you have like it's like a short and then you have the little short kind of bangs and then you got two. How would you describe it? Can you describe it? It's your hair and your
Okay,
vision.
This style of bangs I got is called V bangs.
Okay.
And this whole cut is just like a really short, like punk shag style. And then the back, I wanted these just to be like two rat tails, but it kind of looks like a mullet, but I don't mind. Or I like twist it or I'll like braid it.
They'll
I-
get to their desired.
Angelo, let's kind of cover up a little bit. We're gonna do the other surprise after our guest.
I'm wearing a bra, Harold.
Oh well, I'm sorry. Okay. I don't want to spell too many surprises right now because let's get our guest, and then Angelo, you could give us the other surprise too.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So
we're
let's
gonna-
start.
Rod. Rod needs to do this.
Yeah. Now, Angelo, I want to talk to you about your hair too, because this is the first time I think I ever saw you get a haircut since I've known you. But anyway, hold on. Nate's in the house. Hey, Nate. Nate likes it. Very good.
Thank you.
Allison Perry likes it. Oh,
Thank
great.
you.
And Allison Perry got the description. I'm gonna go through this fast because we have Fred. Hey, Fred.
Hey.
Fred, our guest from last week's checking in. Hey, Fred, good to see you. We're going to have you on again. We're going to talk pretty soon. We're going to definitely have you on. You were fun. You did get to meet Angelo with his new haircut.
He was a great guest. He was one of the gang.
Oh, yeah, he was great. We have a great one tonight, too. Krista's in the house. Jen Huff. Fred, like I talked about. Steve Templar, all the way from Canada. Thank you, Steve, my man. Myself, Anita, in there. So we have everybody in the house. Gene's in there. Jen, Gene, and Jen Huff, and Mother Teresa, and Tiny Tim, and everybody else is in the
And
gang.
Krista and Mary. Mary's on spring break watching us. Hi.
Oh boy, and Doughboy of Doom's in there too.
Of course.
Oh well, then Mary's gonna like this, gang. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for tonight. Now, let me go through our guest. A good while back, our friend, family of the show, family member. I always like to consider people who watch our family members because they are our family. Our good family member who watches our show, Nate, mentioned one night in passing, and he mentioned his father, who's a magician and fire eater. Amongst other things, I mean, I'm sure I can't read his whole resume. It'd take me 2 years. But anyway, and I said, well, Nate, if this is, and he was on America's Got Talent, and we're going to talk about all this in a little bit. But without further, I want to play a video that's going to introduce you and to Rod Sipe, Nate's father. And we're going to watch this video. And it's about 2-3 minutes, but it's a very good video because when Nate sent me this, I watched it. And Rod's going to – and in fact, let's get Rod in and he could intro the video. So without further ado, let's get Rod in. And instead of showing the video, I'm going to get Rod in and he can explain this a little bit. All right, let's get him. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, there you are. Hello. I got to say that is a nice haircut.
Thank you.
That is a nice. If I had hair, that's exactly what I would
do. Now, Rod, I've been knowing Angelo for close to 4 years, and this is the first time I ever saw him get a haircut. When I met him, he had short hair, and then it just grew out, and this is the first time he got a haircut in 4 years.
Well, it looks really good. I'll tell you, to be honest, when I was watching you get your haircut, at some point there, I thought you looked like a young Carlos Santana.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a stage where he had these curly locks and his mustache, and
yeah.
He was the man. Still is.
That's probably why he only talks to me, honestly. So.
Angelo's a barber. It's weird, Rod. Angelo's a barber, but he's scared to get his hair cut. I never understood that.
Well,
Rod, why don't you introduce yourself? And we're going to watch this video in a little bit.
Okay.
Explain to everybody what you do. Yeah.
What do I do? Well, it's either evidence of a misspent youth. Says a lot. Sigmund Freud said. And about myself, I figured out a way to do what I love to do, and lived a good, strange, unusual life about it. And I'm at an age where I did an interview not too long ago, and it's funny because I used to do interviews when their newspapers were paper, and and it was all about being front page full color above the fold. That's what you wanted 40 years ago, because the newspaper in a machine, what you see when you walk up to it is full color front page above the fold.
Yes.
That's what you want to be seen. And back in my very egotistical young dog eat dog days, I liked walking up to that machine and seeing my picture and knowing that's gosh, I have survivor syndrome because I feel a little fraudulent. Because you're probably, Harold, you're going to see a different person now than you saw a little while ago, because I'm in the light, and and it's hard for me to be complimentary. Some things you'll never hear me say. You'll never hear me say world's greatest. You'll never hear me say the best, the king. I never say that. I let other people say it, and it means so much more when other people say it. But I've had a strange thing. So, but I'm going to break my rules. I'll just give a little introduction. Rod Sipe, but I'm also known as Dr. H. Dumpe. I've done fairs and festivals almost 50 years at this point, and Renaissance festivals, which is funny that a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes, what goes on at Renaissance festivals. So that's where I really got my start, being in front of a lot of people, doing a lot of shows. But before that, my idols were the sideshow guys at carnivals and circuses, which is another story of how I got to be around them. And I had the bug. Go back before that, the day I was born in Lawrence, Kansas. So I have to be a Jayhawk. Lawrence, born in Lawrence Memorial Hospital. So I am just really a rural guy from Kansas who's traveled the world and figured out that I had what's known as the it factor. And not everybody was lucky enough, and nobody, it was just there. I saw it in my great uncles and my grandfather and my dad even. And it's the it factor, and you can't steal it. You can't buy it. Can't give it away. I wish I could. And I've mentored people that wanted to be entertainers and whatever, and they worked so much harder than I had to work to get to be better than average or better than good, because a lot of people can get to average, but to get beyond that is another step. So
that's a whole different step that you, and amazing. That's amazing that you know, and it's like you were just saying, like some people just have the and it comes natural to them, and some have to work so hard at things and never reach that. Yeah.
Musicians, and I'm not a musician, but my grandfather was a musician, and his brothers and sister. And when I was a kid, they played bluegrass and old-timey music and whatever. And Nate, my son, musical. I don't have that. I can't even understand what it must feel like to be a musician, but they can't understand what it feels like to be a fire eater either.
Right.
And so everybody has their, I tell you, the most boring person you think on the planet has a story. And I've traveled the world, and I'm really not a social. If you sit by me and you say hi and we start to visit, I know whether I will, I don't know. I just naturally, and I never run into people that I don't want to visit with.
Right.
But I will tell you, the most unassuming people will have a story that you just can't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. It's like you don't know somebody's story or talent or what they're about just by the outer, and because everybody has that something that makes them different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In an audience, and when I'm performing, I'm in a different zone, and I literally look every person in the eye. I like to make a moment, just not even trying to do it. It just happens. And I have a good friend, John Mallory, who's retired from entertaining now, but instrumental when I was in my 20s. And I think at one point in my 30s, we were joking about audiences and just talking. And my friend John just said, you need to think about how you, I don't take compliments well. So I'll be like, yeah, it was okay. It was okay. How was that show? Oh, John would say, I went by, they were 5 deep. They couldn't even get a seat. And I'm just like, I'm just doing what I do, John. And he says, you know what? You don't know what you do all the way. And what do you mean? You've seen me do hundreds of shows, John.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the people in the audience, what you don't know is I do it and you do it, but you affect somebody in that audience. You know, you get up there, you're not having the greatest day ever, but you get on the stage and you forget your worries and you do your show. And I jokingly say, fake it for 40 minutes. There's nothing fake about it, but fake it for 40 minutes. And John just said, but you don't know in the audience what their story is, whether there's a family that's had some real tragedy or some grief in the last month or whatever, and they can forget all of that for 40 minutes and see a show. And he goes, I think you downplayed a little bit. You know, you affect people that you never talk to. They walk away, and they may be at their boring job on Monday morning and saying, somebody goes, what'd you do? I don't know. I went and saw this guy. I don't know. I can't even remember what all he did, but it was just crazy. And I overheard a conversation like that one time where somebody said, is there going to be is a show about to start? And I like to hang around and eavesdrop. And they said, show about to start? And he goes, yeah, I think so. You better get a seat. And he said, have you seen it before? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, well, what is he, a magician? And he goes, well, yeah, kind of. But I can't really describe it. You just got to see it, and it's a lot of fun. And then I switched to Maya Angelou, who says about an audience, they'll forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And so I tie that together with my words of wisdom from my friend John, and that is, when I overheard that conversation, I think he couldn't describe it, but it sure made him feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. So true.
It's pretty deep, and my show is very, very far from being deep. It's organized chaos, and it's just I don't even know how I describe it.
I've seen footage of it, and I'll tell you what, Rod, you the footage I've watched, and I've been watching. I hate to admit it, but I've been watching a lot. I mean, there's nothing to hate to admit, but I've been watching because you're coming on, and like I like to keep up and everything else. And I mean, I would consider it just one of them, like you called it before, like a side show that it's more from a day of you don't get that much entertainment. You don't see I mean, at least where we are down here, I don't see a show of your nature all over the place. You know,
yes. It's like a truck on the road. I've got a lot of gears.
Yeah.
And I just naturally, over all my years of performing, know which gear to be in, because there's nothing worse than leaving your audience behind, running too fast, and leaving them behind is bad, or not picking them up when they need to be carried across the finish line. And I'm telling you, it's the it thing. I feel I'm just lucky. You know, I'm just lucky.
Yeah, and I really and what you say is so true, because you don't know who you're affecting. It's just like our guest last week who came on, Fred. I met him 3 years ago as a tour guide in Philadelphia, not knowing him anything about him. But he affected me so much that he was always in my mind. I had to follow up, and
I'm getting a goosebump from just hearing your voice and the honesty and how he made you feel. I know him by how you made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
See, it jumped another. I never really thought about that, but we just proved how true it was.
Yeah,
I haven't met him, but God, I want to. You know, he's got your stamp of approval, and I'm guessing you talk to a lot of people, and I do too.
Yes.
And I'm not one to give bad news or be a critic unless I'm really pressed. Somebody wants some serious critique or whatever. But I don't give endorsements. I just let it sizzle. You know, it's like a shooting star. I let it go out on its own, and because I don't want to give bad reviews to anybody, but I like to give good reviews.
Yeah, be positive and
yeah.
Yeah, because and that Fred said that was 7 years ago. I met him. And yeah, about 7 years ago, and he still has
Wow.
that impression. I still have that I had to seek him out. I say, I had to seek him out. Still 7 years later, but I always find also and like Rod, what you do and or any entertainer really, and if you connect with that one, to me, I mean, I like our show. If I connect with one or two people that I know I can that enjoys what I'm doing or enjoys what I present to them, and that's worth anything in the world to me.
It's everything. And sometimes I can even feel of like doing a show within a show where you might connect with a family or a group that's sitting together, and all of a sudden it is a show for this little group, and the rest of the people are just like voyeurs or bystanders, but they're with you, but they don't want to be in the center of the show. They want to be on the edge of it.
Right.
And when you connect with, oh my gosh, and it could be families, non-family members, it just happens. I've I've had some experiences with some 1%er biker gangs in my show. One of the craziest shows I ever did. And they would come and see me every year at a certain location. But I'm now doing shows. It's I've gotten older with my audiences, but the people that were my age when I started way back when, and they would bring their kids. And now what I'm seeing those kids that saw me do dangerous, crazy stuff. Grandpa and grandma may be gone by now, or they can't come out. They don't go out to a fair or a festival.
Right.
And so they show up and say, hey, you probably don't remember me. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I'm honest, and I just go, no, not right away. And they'll tell me about how they used to come with their parents who brought them when they were kids. And then this kid that's a college age kid was somebody I used in my show when he was like 5 years old or 6 years old. And people bring me pictures. And I have stories of fans. And I usually try to be on my good behavior when I'm out traveling, because I'm telling you, I've been caught a couple of times over the years of just not being me, but being somebody I didn't want to be. But what I'm trying to tell you is I'm on good behavior, because I'm just this guy that's kind of flown under the radar in the world of entertainers. You got your David Copperfields, you got these guys that are way up here. Then you got your uncle that's really terrible, but nobody wants to tell him he can't do real good tricks. And then at Renaissance festivals, and like Comic-Cons and cons with all the costuming and all this stuff that goes on is just the best. But I see these people that come back and tell me that when they did it, and I've also changed my show. I never wanted to be a kids performer. I was not a birthday party guy. I didn't do that. And then as I got a little bit older, my show morphed into, instead of me just eating a light bulb and throwing my face in the glass and people standing on my head and actually bleeding and doing crazy stuff the whole time and doing the most dangerous fire, that I started using some younger, more kids. And just by dumb luck, I went from wanting like a brother and a sister volunteers. One day I'm getting volunteers. I turn away, and when I turn around, there's another kid that's joined the group. Just ran up on the stage, and I didn't even see this kid, but he had to get on stage. So I turned, there's three. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. And so what I learned is if I purposely turned away and vaguely pointed for volunteers, like, yeah, you'll do. Yeah, sure. Right up there. And I would turn my back, and then there'd be 5 kids. And I'd be like, where do they all come from? Well, now I'm up to 10 or 12 kids. And I just drain an audience of hundreds of people. Every kid that wants to be in the show gets in the show.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I forget about the rest of the other people.
Yeah.
I put all my attention on them. And this last year, I got an award from a festival because they've been hiring me for years and years and years and years and years. And I got an award. That was an award for an old act who became something new. I never heard that award before, and I was just like, okay. So I accept the award, and I go, I've never heard of this award. And the entertainment director just said, and she's now about 35, and she'd been seeing me since she was a kid. And she goes, I still remember my feelings seeing your show. And now I've worked my way up. I'm the entertainment director. And then, so I get this award, but they said, without you rebuilding yourself, you were an old act. You're 70 years old. Oh my gosh, I hate to even say that. You're 70 years old, but you have come along and you've turned into this grandpa guy that's on stage. But I'm also the guy that can. Maybe you've seen the videos. I have a real good one that's gets uncovered every once in a while where I have a kid heckler who says something and I just yell, and it's so loud, and I yell right at the kid, hey kid, shut the hell up. Yeah, and that used to be my style, and it is still my style, but I know when to use it and when not to use it. I've killed a couple of shows by saying a couple things that I shouldn't have said. I've made some mistakes, but I'm really, really pretty smart. But I like to play my act. I do play. I'm a chameleon. I can play as strong as you want, 1% bikers, fringe groups that want it as rough as I can do it, because and you just got back from New Orleans. My worst injury I ever had was in New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
Oh, wow.
I got
Lord. I was going to ask you about going to New Orleans.
Oh, I love New Orleans. You know, I used to be New York City and New Orleans were my towns where they were both 50% fun and 50% scared. You know, back in the 80s, it was exciting. And if a car backfired, you look around, there's 1,000 people on the sidewalk and crawling for a spot.
I don't know when you went to New Orleans, but I got to the age, Rod, where I said, me and my wife said, no, New Orleans is no more for us. I mean, you grow up in New Orleans, you're hitting that suburban street and all when you're 15 years old. By the time you reach about 30, it's like,
it's pretty much amateur hour down there now. It's
I call them amateur drinkers is what I call them. They don't know how to act after a few drinks.
Oh, look at Angela with that good.
You see, like
pinky up.
Yeah, but Angelo's a great look. I wanted to read something real fast.
Sure.
And Nate says you get fan fun, what we call fan art, like picture collages with the kid from a baby to an adult, and all this, all other kind of stuff like this.
Yes,
that people show you or send you.
I had a family put together a poster board and just brought my show to a halt and brought me to tears, because I am holding, these kids are in college right now, and they had pictures from every year they came with their grandparents. I'm holding an infant and a 1.5-year-old in my hands. This beard was blacker than coal, black as Angelo's hair. I'm a little suspect of Angelo's hair. I mean, when I'm working and I do my, you'll see the video. You'll see how I color my beard. I call it the Badger, but it's, chlorophyll number 45. I'm not saying anything about Angelo's black hair, because I think it's the real deal. Yeah.
He didn't get the gray yet. He's still a young man. He didn't get the gray. That's one thing, Rod. I know you don't, but I always see my dad, and my dad's 78. Probably up there 78. He still works, and
good for him.
At a wedding. Yeah, I was at a wedding one day, and my dad and his brother, my uncle, was standing up together, and I heard somebody in the back say, "Boy, look at that! Richard's hair just turned all gray." And Harold still has that beautiful black hair. I'm like, I turned to my wife. I said,
That ain't natural. I know. All right, I inherited the genes. I know I'm getting gray. All right, don't.
Well, you can tell when it's really my heavy season. My beard will be black, and my eyebrows will be black, and I really think I could pass a lie detector test when I say I didn't do it for vanity, but I really didn't, because I just gave up coloring it. But it frames my face, and I use a lot of expressions and natural expressions, and I'm not an actor. Believe me, I am so not an actor, and every time I've had to be an actor in film or gosh, even commercials, I just don't take direction well. I do. I mean, I do. Mm-hmm. And a director would never know that I don't take direction well, but it's terrifying to me because I'm a one man show. You see how I work. I write my own material. The audience writes most of it for me, and I do what I want to do. And then when it's like, okay, you need to do this and do this.
It's out of your comfort level. It's out of your
way
your,
out there.
Your comfort. Yeah.
Especially when I was on a movie set that was really interesting. It was anyway, for me to get the gig was another whole story, but they shot this it was called Monday After the Miracle, which was with Roma Downey, if you remember Touched by an Angel. Roma Downey
definitely. And
I went in I got a call from an agent, and they said, "Hey, they're looking for you." This is a long time ago. My gosh, 15 years ago at this point. And so they're looking for you. You know, everything is on our phone these days. But anyway, somebody's looking for you. I didn't book you the gig, but they're looking for you. And I said, okay. I said, but they're going to get your number. They're going to track you down. I'm right. So anyway, I get a call from a producer in California, and they wanted me to be in this movie as a fire eater. And I said, we're going to be casting this, and we're going to do auditions. And this was at a point I'm just laughing, because then I'm just like, I used to do this not for ego, but for business purposes. And I represented myself a lot. And they said, well, we're doing an interview. We're doing interviews on this such and date. And I said, oh no, I don't do interviews. Now this is before internet era where you could send a lot of video. It was just 8x10s, copies of newspaper articles. You might have some news footage a little bit. And I said, I don't do it. And there's like, well, everybody has to, come in and audition. I go, I've been in the business a long time. I don't need auditions now. If you want to make an appointment, I'll come in for an interview.
Right. But don't ask me to audition.
You know what I do? You called me. You're looking for me. You know what?
Yeah. Why you? That's weird too. I mean, they called you. Why don't you need to go? I'd be like,
so it's just a showbiz, song and dance, and it's just
you got to do it. I guess it's a rigmarole.
You do that. But when I went for my interview, I took all my stuff. And when I get there, there's a real snooty assistant guy. He was just, they hadn't brought in everybody. It was going to be a whole bunch of Hollywood types. And he said, okay, they're going to come in. They're going to sit down. We know what we've read your press. We know what you do. And he says, do you think 3 minutes is good? And I said, no, they won't even know me until 5 minutes.
Right.
I said, I need a little bit of time. And he said, well, I can't give you a lot of time. I'm the scheduler, and I'm going to, I'll tell you when I think they've seen enough. I said, okay. Well, make a long story short, they all come in, introduce around, all the fake handshakes and this and that. And he says, all right, Rod, go ahead and get started. And I just go into my set act. Well, 35 minutes later, I'm still looking at my guy that was going to tell me when they'd seen enough. So anyway,
you had to extend your show more than your regular show.
I tell you, I was having a great time at my interview, and and then and even the director was there, who was, I won't mention his name, but Academy Award winning director was directing this, legitimate guy. So we spring forward to when they're shooting me as a fire eater, and I'm in this great costume, and I was Blazing Bert. That was my character, Blazing
man,
Bert.
I gotta look up this movie.
Blazing Bert.
I'm gonna have to look up this.
So I get up there. Oh, what is going on, Angelo? I can smell that through the screen.
Angela, what was that? Don't be stingy with it. Let's see it.
I have nothing. There's nothing going
All
on.
right.
I put my glasses on.
Put my timer on.
I'm leaning in.
On.
It's it's ridiculous. I'm sniffing the screen.
And I love that he has.
Is it crab's legs on there?
No, these are short ribs.
Yeah, short
like
ribs.
the opposite of crab.
No,
Like-
you know what? Because look, I can see the one
Oh,
thing.
it's
but-
asparagus.
Oh,
but
it's asparagus.
green.
It's green.
Yeah, asparagus.
True.
It looks like bricks.
Oh,
It looks like bricks.
Green
Right.
bricks. Yo,
Here.
zoom in on it.
Thanks for making us all hungry, Angela.
Angelo, he's a bad man. I'm telling you.
Oh, he's bad. He's bad. All
I didn't
right.
have time to
He's
make
bad.
dinner tonight, so my mom roommate brought it through.
That
Wow.
looks so good.
So,
Wow.
so Rob, what was the name of that movie?
Monday After the Miracle.
I'm gonna have to go check that
It
out.
was about Helen Keller, and when she was in vaudeville. So I was a vaudeville performer.
Wow.
So
I'm
they
gonna have to go check that out.
They were going to shoot my part, and I'm on stage, and the assistant director comes up. She was a little bit inexperienced, and she's like, okay. And she was at our interview meeting, and she said, now I've got a few notes. When you do this fire, when you light your tongue on fire, I want you to move that to the very beginning. And then when you're doing this volcano thing, we want to switch it to right in the middle. And then all the time I'm thinking, yeah, this is why I don't take direction well. A director telling me how to eat fire. So I try to remember the order. They go through all the, they run they check the lights. They have an orchestra in the pit. They cue everything. They do it. I start doing what I'm doing. And I go through it like she described. And I hear the director yell, cut, in the most worst way ever. My heart just sunk. And I see him coming down the aisle of this theater, down the extras, and it's quiet. And here he comes. And he's an old guy at this point, and he doesn't go down and talk to anybody. He sends the assistant. Here he comes. He walks right up, and he's looking at me. I'm up on the stage, and he's standing there. He shakes his head, and he says, Rod. I'm shocked he even knows my name. He goes, Rod, you are no actor. Just like that. Oh, I was dying. I didn't know. I was just like that. And he said, and he let it soak in just enough, that sly old bird. And he said, but we didn't hire you to be an actor. We hired you to be a fire eater. Now, I want to see what you did when you came in for your interview. That's what I want. He goes, I'll be back there. I want you to do a magic trick for all these extras and all these people. You get them to loving you like I loved you when you did your interview. And he said, we're going to film it all and we'll make it work. So I just did what I did. And I said, oh, how long do you want me to go? He goes, you know when to stop? And he goes, and then you yell cut. I said, I get to yell cut. Well,
That director had the confidence
doing
in
what
you
I'm
there.
doing. I got the audience going wild. I've got them going. And then they were so loud, and I had them on their feet to give me a standing ovation. And I yell cut, and the orchestra can't even hear me because the crowd's too loud. And I'm waving my arms. I must have looked ridiculous. And I yell, finally I get it cut. It's done. Dan, the director, I see him up there. He's looking through because it's shot on film and they're looking at the digital. They're looking at it. And then I see him coming. And I was like, I couldn't read him, but I thought this went well. He walks right down and he just sticks his hand out, shakes my hand. He says, that's what I wanted, Rod. We got it all. So
Yeah.
so you're done. You're out of here. I said, thanks a lot. So there's a guy that's smart enough to tell somebody to do what they do, and he let me do it.
Fred has a question for you because he's
Sure.
He said, how did you handle the pandemic?
I did a few cul-de-sac shows with distancing. I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't do a lot of Zoom, very few Zooms, and I was in a good position that I'm old enough, so
right.
If I was in those 20s, 30s raising a family, I can't imagine. But I learned something very valuable. And Fred, I don't know how old Fred is or how long he's been performing, but he's not as old as I'm the senior guy in this group here tonight for sure. But what I learned was, because I really don't know how long I'm going to do what I do, and I'm never going to, 2 rules that I made for myself a long time ago. I'm never going to do it just because of the money. And I also don't want to do one show too many, which means I've seen other people do one and tarnished their legacy. Yeah. And so I promised I wasn't going to do that. Well, and then I've had other entertainers who live to perform. I perform to live. I love being on stage, but I've talked to Nate, and I have a lot of other outside interests.
Yeah.
Besides just performing. So I perform to live because it finances my lifestyle.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm not gonna overdo my stay on the stage. But back to the pandemic, what I learned was hundreds of shows, because I do 3-4 shows a day at a lot of places. Wow. So it's not hard to do in a year 300-400 shows.
Right.
And so I worried about, am I going to be that guy that just turns into a grumpy old man who's retired and is mad about it and whatever? And what it told me, because Nate and I built a lake house years ago, so I had a lake place that we could go hide. And what I found out is I forgot I was even an entertainer. And I didn't miss it. And then when I thought about it, or I'd get a call and they're just like, hey, can you come do this? And they go, oh yeah, I do shows, don't I?
Oh, wait.
And
I forgot about
it's surprising to me, but I learned, and I knew that I wasn't going to miss it. When I retire and I say goodbye for the last time, I'm not going to be called out of retirement. Hey, can you show up and eat some fire? Well, there's a reason why I retired. My attitude, my eyesight, my reflexes. You're a fire eater, and I'm an outdoor fire eater mainly.
Yeah.
And outdoors is dicey. And so,
weather and these festivals, you never know.
There's a lot of factors.
Yeah,
a lot of factors. So that's what the pandemic did for me, and the people came back. It was strange, after starting to do shows like that. It was kind of like on 9/11. I had the same kind of feeling like that happened during the week. I had shows on the weekend, and oh my gosh, we had cast meetings and everybody's talking about, are we doing the right thing? We're going to open, we're going to do this, whatever.
Right.
We were all terrified that people would just be walking around with their heads hanging down and horrified. Goes right to, if I can make them forget it for 40 minutes. And people wanted to have fun. And so same way with the pandemic. Oh my gosh. It's opened up a lot of things for entertainment. I'll tell you one of the things, if you're an entertainer, you would think about this. Electronic payment, Venmo. I use Venmo a lot. Before the pandemic, before DoorDash, and before all this, tap your card and 2025. But before that, and so I merchandise at my show. I'm an old school performer, so I have a pitch at the end. And they used to sell postcards for $0.10. The dime days are gone, but anyway, with Venmo and people wanting to transfer cash to you and give you cash and pay for, I sell magic sets and I do all this, and I also pass a hat, which is a tradition at Renaissance festivals, and that's one of those things that's kind of a secret that nobody talks about. There's a level at Renaissance festivals, and I know people that don't know are just like, oh my gosh, that passing the hat. Oh, I'd never do a show that passes the hat. My grandpa told me a long time ago in the 50s and 60s that $1 cash is really $1.30. So, and
do
cash
you think?
and tips, I think it'd be fantastic for servers and musicians, street musicians and street performers and whatever who don't have to worry about it, because my contemporaries, we made a lot of hat money. And we were scared for about the first, when it got to be, I don't want to say anybody cheated on their taxes or evaded anything or whatever. But there's just a point whether you commit a crime. If you rob a bank and you get 5,000, you're gonna get the same sentence if you rob a bank and get 50,000. So the bigger the number, really, once you cross that threshold, it's
Once you cross the threshold, then it becomes mute point. At that point, it's and Fred, thanks you so much.
Fred, you're welcome. I hope I get to speak with him sometime.
Yeah,
see him. He'll be on a guest again. I'll pay attention.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll be a guest. Yeah, he'll be a guest for sure.
Look at that carnivore. Angelo's such a carnivore.
Oh, yeah. He's a meat eater.
He is, with a good haircut.
Yeah, he's dedicated.
He's not acting either. He's enjoying it.
No. Do you find
life?
Do you find the crowds got stronger after the pandemic? I find that places I go, the crowds are like more like
they are intense.
Yeah,
they are intense, and they want. And I even have brought back old material that over the last 10 years I had to self-censor and pull myself back in. Taking a chance of getting canceled when people were getting canceled, and I used to have a whole bit about I hate to be the guy that's going to tell you who the guilty people are, but look at my hand. There's 5. These are the 5 innocent people. I know they're really, really innocent, and I don't see any of these people around here on that hand. So even doing controversial material in my show that really hurt. But anyway, I'll tell you, I brought back some stuff, and I hear other comedians talk about. Listen to other podcasts. The crowds are back. They're demanding. They want it to be not sanitized and too careful, because I make fun of everybody at a fest without making fun of them. I have fun with everybody, and when you have to self-censor on something is just hilarious, and it's scary to bring it back after not doing a bit for 10 years and springing it on a crowd and not knowing if they're going to hate you or love you, because you don't want to be hated.
Right.
And I used to say, and I've brought it back, and I'll give you the logic on this. And Fred, I hope Fred's watching this too, because he probably understand, or any entertainer, is I used to, 10 years ago, 60 years old, people know I'm older. They don't know exactly how old I am, and I love settling. I handle hecklers, and I don't care if they're 2-year-old heckler crying because he's hungry or 100-year-old heckler. I've heard it all. I've done it all. And I just love to deal with a situation of somebody that's being loud or grumpy or whatever. And especially if parents aren't really supervising their kids. Anyway, I have this thing where I just, like I said, I yelled at a kid in this video, shut the hell up. And my tagline is, which I didn't mention, is, you got to know I'm serious, kid. I raised my kids back when child abuse was legal. Now, yeah, Angelo, that's funny. But let me tell you, 7 years ago, that wasn't funny.
Rod,
it was.
I'm a Filipino kid. My dad definitely did that stuff to me.
Yes. But there was a point where I realized it because I could just feel it from the audience. But it wasn't about I raised my kids when child abuse was legal, which not I'm not it's a joke, but to bring up it brings elder abuse, animal abuse in it. The word abuse is going to affect anybody and everybody. So I toned that back and I didn't say it. Well, after the pandemic and people are coming back and they're demanding rough stuff, they like stereotype when you're making fun of stereotypes or ethnicities, race, gender, it's all coming back because people like to laugh at stuff they can relate to. Angelo can relate to it. Yeah, I was raised back when child abuse was legal too. But the truth of it was, I think Angelo was probably a quick learner like I was. It wasn't every day I was getting wet. I was smarter than that. I got the look. Angelo probably got the look. Oh, there's the look. Don't cross that line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it all changes. And it is kind of me being grandfatherly these days. I'm a 70-year-old guy with a beard of a 40-year-old. Clear off from me at number 45.
I'm 40.
You're 40 years old?
Yeah.
Gosh, I thought you looked a little younger there.
Yeah, what's that haircut?
It is a good haircut.
Yeah.
If you've seen some pictures of me 50 years ago, I had curly black hair, but I started losing it back up here, and it really wasn't a bad hairline. But I saw a picture in a paper, and you can't eat fire without tilting your head back, and it made my spot look bigger, and I knew exactly how I was going to look like my grandpa. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get ahead of this. And so I was like, I'm going to shave my head. So I shaved my head. And that was an experience.
Yeah. So Rod, I want to ask you a couple more. We're going to have to go after this because it's been an hour now.
Oh my gosh, just went that fast. Do you have that clip where I can just see if I eat fire?
I want to ask you one question before I show the clip. So your entire life you made your living doing this entertaining, or did you have a
adult life? But I've put myself into situations where my dad gave me some good advice when I was like 22 years old, and I was going to make it for real happen. And he said, just give it your best shot. The worst that can happen to you is you might have to get a job. Now that's great advice. Really, if the worst thing is happen is that I just have to go like every other person and get a job and figure out life. And believe me, being raised around farmers, and my dad was in construction, and Nate is my son. Nate's the same way. Nate grew up. He can wire it. He can fix it. You know, we didn't have mechanics. If you're a tall grass showman, is what they call me. You know, you're going across the prairie, not in a wagon, but you're driving, and you have a flat tire. You got something needs repaired. You better be able to fix it yourself. So,
I mean, that's good advice.
Between gigs, shoot, I've built stages. I've done all kinds of stuff.
That's good.
And I can also. And then being a fire eater too, I never took off. I took off where I did a year before Nate was born, maybe he could have been a baby, but I had to go to Florida to do 6 weeks of shows. I didn't even have enough money in my pocket to pay for the gas to get there. But you know what? I knew I could stop in St. Louis, crank out about 4 hours of street shows at the Westport area there, and pass that hat. And as long as I could do what I could do a show, and I'll do a show as long as the audience outweighs me, which is usually 2 people. And so I didn't have to help build a house. I could just throw down some shows and make some.
That's awesome. Angelo, you had a question?
Oh yeah. Can you, before you go, can you give us like 5 facts about Nate that we don't know?
that what you don't know. He starred in a documentary called Nate the Hobo, won several film festival awards for a short. He was 10 years old. All I was the crew. I was the cameraman, the sound man. We jumped on a train, a freight train, and we took the train until we got taken off by the railroad dicks, as Nate would say, when they took us off the train in a yard in Fort Scott, Kansas, and they made us hold our hands up really high. So anyway, so Nate was narrated this. He was 10 years old and narrated, and those were words that Nate used in this. So that's about Nate.
Gotta see this.
I gotta see.
I gotta check that. I gotta find this documentary.
He escaped. Nate specialized in Nate the Great is an escape artist doing the upside down straitjacket escape, just like Houdini. But he doesn't mention it. He's kind of like me in those some ways, but he actually escaped from a straitjacket from a construction equipment that was 100 feet in the air.
What?
Now, 100 feet. I didn't realize how high 100 feet was because I'm the talker guy. I'm talking it and he's doing it. But when he got out of the jacket and dropped it from 100 feet and you could see it coming down in the breeze, it takes a long time for something to fall 100 feet. And it gave me perspective. And I was just like,
wow,
something I would never do. So they did that. Also, he's canoed. I'll put it on his scouting trips. He's climbed a 14,000 foot mountain in his lifetime. He's canoed in the boundaries of the Canadian boundary and headwaters of the Mississippi up in the north and southern Canada, and has done that. He I don't ever remember him saying no to anything.
Wow.
That he trusted me to do in the show. Until he was 5 years old, and he changed the whole dialogue in the show on a routine on me one time. That was funny. I was really looking at him. I was like, "What are you doing, Nate?" He's like,
"Hey, Rod, I gotta say, you said, and I believe this too because I think about it, but like everybody does have a story, and like I've known Nate for a few years, and I didn't know any of that shit."
Well, it's oh gosh. Well, I caught him as a kid. Let me tell you a little story about a kid, Gatorland. I love Gatorland in Florida. And it's been there
I'm
since
familiar with that. I'm familiar with that place.
Attraction, roadside museum of Gatorland. And they had the dancing chickens where they pounce them on a clothesline. The gators jump up and grab them. So Nate would go with me on the road. And it was just him and I. And let me tell you, all the moms in the family, I don't want to mention them by names, but they're just like, oh my gosh, how can you take a kid on the road? Oh my gosh, we were road buddies. It was fantastic. But so we go to Gatorland. Nate loved going to Gatorland. I did too. And this is back when you could just Nate was raised like me. I was kind of a feral kid. Nate was a feral kid. He just kind of ran wild. And I'm messing around and I'm looking around and I don't see him. And I look down and he's got his chicken parts. Now they give you little fishing poles where you put a little clothespin on it, and you on your chicken part, and you're supposed to lean over and feed these gators with your 3 foot long fishing pole.
Yeah.
Nate's 5 years old. He's hand feeding these alligators. He's not using the pole. He's not using the string and the clip. He's leaning over the fence, and when the gator comes up out of the water and he turned loose of it, but he is my boy. He had his hat out. He was making some coin. He was doing some little shows.
I'm looking Gator right now. Look at me.
Gator. I like Gator. Gator bites.
Oh, I've had that too. I love that. I love Gator, man.
Oh yeah. All right. So let me up and play this video. Then we're gonna do this, and then Mr. Rod, I'm not gonna say Mr. Rod, we're gonna talk about this in 1 second right now after this, but let's watch this. It's about a little 3-minute video of what you do, and I like this part because you tell a little story about Nate. So let's check it out real fast.
Slow motion fire eating. Slow motion special effects fire eating. It's 2024, so now I'm using a little AI. I'm old. I don't even know what that means. gets a laugh, though. I know it's stupid. It's stupid. I know. But it's going to be slow. Oh, come on now. Even in the back. Even in the back. All right. Standing ovation in the back. Thank you. Standing ovation in the back. I appreciate that. Let me introduce myself. I am Rod Sipe, also known as Dr. H. Dumpe, physician turned magician, LBP. Now, if you've been reading the banner, you may think LBP stands for leechings, bleedings, and physics. That's not so. It really represents large, bald person. It's an honorary degree, believe me. And you know back when it was a very large, bald person. Yeah, about 340 worth. Yeah, back in those days. Gonna have some magic, gonna do some magic, gonna eat some fire, gonna use some volunteers, gonna have a little bit of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to talking about Nate back in the 1990s. But anyway, Nate would go on the road with me. We would tour in Florida, and we had so many experiences when he was a young guy, a kid, and he would sit on. We had a stage down in Florida, one place, and there was a window in a tower behind me, and they would. He would be up in the window, and then he was in the act. So I didn't know one day he was going to be bored with his part in the act. And so he comes down, he gets a big applause, little kid, and then we go through the thing, and then he decides to change the routine. And when he was supposed to do something, I said, okay, Nate, and then he looked at me and went, And I'm like, oh, what is that? And he was like, now we're going to do that a little bit different. So he changed the act. We kept it in the act. You'd have to hear it in context, but he changed the act. That was like the first time I ever saw him really want to take over an audience. Now we'll zoom forward about 15 years after that. There's some memorabilia on this stage. Bob the Incredible Juggler and I, we've been on this same stage for 38 years together. So right up here, I can barely touch it, you can see a bar. You probably remember when Nate would do the straitjacket escape, we had a cable stretched across there and we hoisted him up above the stage. The audience pulled on a rope, pulled him up on the stage, and this bar is still here from those years, 25 years ago. And I look at it every day. And I see that because when he would come down, he'd have to hold on to it while I got him out of the boots and all that apparatus. So it's probably a little memorabilia you probably don't even think of. I do think about that. There's a lot of little hidden things on this stage that maybe sometime if you catch me, I can point them out to you. Some very personal things.
Oh wow!
All right.
Oh wow! You probably wouldn't know, but I could hear my voice crack talking about Nate.
Oh, wow.
Well, I was going to say, Rod, I can tell how much you love your kid now.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go there right now, man.
It's been 3 years and 1 week that Nate lost his sister and my daughter. And
big love, man.
We will get better.
Yeah,
but we will never be well. You'll never be 100% well, but we'll get better. And it's life. Everybody has a story. And there's been a lot of people in this 3 years that have made me smile when I needed to smile. I've had strangers just say, man, there's something going on with you, but you look like you need a hug.
Yeah.
And they know it. So anyway, that
that brings it all back to where we came from the beginning. Was like everybody has a story, and you never know ever know what's going on in anyone's life, and that's why you should be always looking out for each other and just be kind and considerate. Because no matter what anybody gets you mad or aggravated, you don't know the story that they're going through in their life.
Oh, I give everybody a pass. Everybody gets a pass. You get humbled. Life will humble you
100%
and teach you some lessons that are really valuable.
Yep.
And my daughter Sarah, she was always bees were her thing, because she always said, be kind. Well, every day I wake up in the morning, I go, look at me, I got another day. Not everybody gets one.
100%.
And my friend Bob, the incredible juggler, he just says days are so valuable. That's why they only give them to you one at a time.
That's right. We only live one.
And all it takes is that one time you wake up in your whole one situation, your whole life changes.
Turns it upside down.
What? No matter what you think you figured out in your life, whether you're 20 years old or you're 70 years old, one situation will just turn you around and make you look at life differently and realize you don't have figured out.
I was gonna say, Rod, me, Harold, you, we all have a sign of like loss in our life.
Yeah, and
I can see that.
Jean lost her Jean lost their computer power. So that's why. All right, Rod, we want to thank you so much. It was
this time went by so fast.
I'm telling you, that's how it always goes on here. Sometimes we do the show. Why do you think at the beginning it says Harold Dufresne, get your butt to bed? Because we used to do the show and it used to be 3 hours, and my wife would say, Harold Dufresne, you're still up, but it does go by fast. But Rod, I appreciate you so much coming in, and amazing stories and amazing facts about Nate. And I've been trying to get Nate to come on there, and Nate is gonna. I've talked to Nate, and Nate's gonna come on there.
He's quite the creative guy, and he's a musician and an artist, and
his art. I see his art all the time. He does incredible stuff.
Prolific, he's just. Oh my gosh, I could talk about my kids and my family all the time. We're worried about filling an hour, and I don't know. You got it out of me there,
Harold. Let's do a follow-up episode.
All right, Angelo, we'll work on that.
All right.
We'll get it done. Thank you so much for coming in, and we do appreciate it. And
thank you guys.
Nice meeting you and talking to you. And
cheers, Angelo.
Yeah, well, maybe I wish one day I'd be in the area where I'd be able to go see you.
Say goodbye to Gene for me, okay?
All right, we will. Yeah. We will.
All right.
Take care of yourself. Later. Thank you, Rod.
Later, brother.
All right. There we go.
Hey,
all right. Hopefully Gene now is gonna get the computer going up, but Angelo, it's just me and you right now, so we're all good. I tell you what, let me up and do this, and maybe we could. Let me see.
Harold, that interview felt different than a lot of interviews in like a really good way.
Well, thank you.
That was really cool.
All right.
And Ramona just said this. We're coming back. We almost got it.
All right. Hey, gang, while we're doing that, Angelo, there's somebody, Rod, I forgot. We're going to do a spinning. So go ahead and let me tell. I'm going to take Rod out. Rod, you're good. I guess if we take
That's
Rod
out.
Yeah. All right, Rod, good night. Oh.
Later, Rod, brother.
All right. All right. I took him out the green room. It was in the green room. All right, gang. Maybe he was watching. Maybe we should have kept him on. Well. I forgot. Nate, thank you so much for introducing us to your father. I appreciate that.
Your dad was great.
We hope to talk to you one day.
Dude, that guy, your dad loves you, bro. That's awesome as hell.
Oh yeah, I follow him and definitely they have love in the family. Yeah, Fred, I wish we're gonna have to do that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I know we're gonna do that again. I'll get that question going on him too. I'll write that down so I don't forget. All right, Angelo, why don't the question everybody's been asking is Travis.
Oh, okay, not after Chad or Krista or Mary.
It's Travis this time.
Travis is back. Let's do it. Let's roll it.
Now it's time for the question everyone's asking. What's Travis spinning?
Oh, I made it just in time. My life till now has been filled with doubt.
Oh my god.
Lord. All right, sorry about that.
Harold.
All right, let's
Travis.
see what Travis is spinning here. Here we go. Take it away, Mr. Lala.
Show check gang, it's your buddy Travis again with What's Travis Spinning. This week I'm spinning a single. That's right, a 40.
What happened here?
Okay. Nope, I gotta take this off. Wait.
All right.
Action.
By Fear, the Neighbor single. It has John Belushi on it because John Belushi was a huge Fear fan, and they were a fan of each other. And John Belushi was doing this movie in 1981 right before he died called Neighbors, and they recorded it after some beers after the SNL story with Fear and Wrecking the Place. Anyways, if you like punk rock, if you like John Belushi, if you like Fear, definitely check out this album. I'll see you guys again next week. So What's Travis Spinning?
Have a beer with Fear. Have a beer with Fear.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Great choice.
Fear. You like Fear, Angelo?
I was born with it, and I love the band. Yes.
Well, you. I don't know what to say about that, but
just being real.
That band Fear, it always. Look, I had all the Fear records. And everything else. They were out there though. They were like.
What year did you find out about them?
86, 87, maybe. You know how I found out about them?
No.
I'll tell you. I wish Ramon would be here because Ramon would probably like to hear this story. But anyway, I found out about Fear. I did not know about Fear until, unfortunately, I was listening to MOD. All right, Billy Milano, which I probably should have been listening to anyway, but with that jerk. But anyway, I was listening to Billy Milano's MOD, and they covered "I Love Living in the City," and I said, "Whoa, what song is this? This is a cover song." And then that's when I went out and kind of looked into Fear. "I Love Living in the City."
That was my introduction to. I think
that's a lot of people's introduction.
I heard that song when I was like working at a porn store downtown. That's just how it came to be. That's how it came to life.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, the Crab Line. I mean, I could see that playing that in a porno store. Yeah.
I only worked there for about a year and a half. Everyone, it's just so you know.
Oh yeah, well, that Fear. I forget the lead singer's name. Yeah. And he was in a movie. He was in a couple of movies. Probably he was in a few movies. And
Fallen Angels, Harold.
Yeah, and he was in What movie was that?
Fallen Angels, Harold. No, I'm just kidding.
He was in a movie with Rick Moranis.
Broken Rage.
We'll talk about that in 1 second. If Gene and all can make it back, well, we'll talk about that. I forgot the name of the movie that he was in.
Was it Rick Moranis?
Streets of Fire.
Ooh.
Streets of Fire. He was Rick Moranis was in there, directed by Walter Hill. Yeah, and he was in there. I think he played one of the bad guys, or one of the gang members or something. You know, he had that look. Now he looks. You ever see him now? He looks like an old man. You know, it's like I was scared. He just still kind of looks tough. He still kind of looks like you don't want to mess with him too much. You know, like some older people have that look. I don't want to even if they're it's like we talked about before, you know, it's like one of these guys, you go in a bar, you don't want to mess with that 80-year-old man, you know, he's gonna kick your butt, you know.
You never know, man. Never know.
So yeah, fear. I love living in the city. I love living in the city.
I mean, hey Harold, I have my own little spinning if we want to do it right now.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was gonna wait. I don't know if Gene and all could get their computer up and running, but I wanted to do a spinning too myself. So why don't we do a I was torn between two spinnings, I'll tell you the truth. I was torn between two spinnings, but I'm gonna have to decide at the last minute which spinning I'm gonna do. Okay.
Oh.
So all right. So let's find out what we're spinning.
Okay.
Now, it's time for the question that people sometimes ask. What's after show chat spinning? I need love, I need love, I need love, I need love. I need love. Sorry, I'm moshing.
Harold,
Okay,
you
y'all
look
got
like,
your computer fixed. What's that?
Harold, this whole time I feel like you look like American Beauty, but instead of rose petals, you have crawfish.
Better than rose petal. All right, this is the real deal over here. This is what we really love is crawfish.
I've been waiting for over an hour to make that joke.
Oh, good.
Mina what? Mina what?
I'm glad you got it in.
Me too.
Mina what?
Allison Perry, you're so funny. I'm not even going to go back in time. You know everything you said.
Go back in time. All right, gang. Angelo, Mr. Angelo, what are you spinning this week?
I have been spinning the new. So I may look this way. My music taste is like all over the place, but I've been listening to Midnight Trust's new album, Ekis Asanis. It's very good.
Midnight
Trust. Midnight Trust. The album, as it's spelled, EQUUSASIN.
Oh, you lost me.
I don't even know what that means.
What song? What song should we be listening to?
On that album.
What's that?
On that
Yeah,
album,
what song should we be listening?
Started listening to a song called "I Come with Mud."
I Come with Mud.
They're a Canadian band. They're like French Canadian band. They make really like slow melodic indie style music. It has a really cool spin. It's like
I'm loading up the song.
It's my like driving music because I tend to listen to music when I'm driving more than like being at home.
This is let's listen to this. Ramona, Gene, do y'all know this artist?
What's it called again? I'm trying to get it.
Man, I Trust.
I like the name.
Yeah.
They're very indie, but they're also outside of the indie box.
Yeah. Well, let's listen to a little bit of this. I need mud. I come with mud. I'm sorry.
This is like different than their sound by a lot too.
Okay.
And we won't get like kicked off of this.
Wow, Angelo. Oh, yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah. Before I'm liking it, Angelo.
Wait for it. Her voice is very like angelic. This is very different from their sound that they usually have. I'll have you play something different.
All right. Is the sound vocals about to kick in?
In a second, yeah.
All right. Takes a little while for the vocals to kick. I'm going to keep it
like
in
that
a
second.
little bit.
Give it a few
I
seconds.
want to hear the vocals.
Keep it right there.
I hope it might. Nope. Come on now. Wow, Angelo, I'm digging this. I'll be honest with you. I'm really digging this.
All right, Harold, 1 second. Go search right now. Search Untourable album by them too.
Untourable album. Okay. Is this a song or an album?
It's Men I Trust.
Man,
There we
I
go.
Trust.
Yeah, that album right there. Go to Sugar. That's one of my favorite songs on that album.
All right, well, let's check this out. I dig that band there, Angelo.
It's fun. Like this song, this is their main sound too. So that album I just played right now is like them evolving.
This is it right here.
Yeah, and what you just played is like a sound of like how they're evolving right now.
Okay, let's hear this.
Their signature.
All right. Let's check this out. What Angelo's spin.
Wasn't that bass?
Yeah, digging it.
I ran out and made a consolation. I've been waiting forever. How can you call me with such conviction? Sugar cane, sugar. You get yourself out of situation.
Man. No, Angelo, I'm digging this. I'm telling you, you know what I'm getting a vibe from? Belle and Sebastian. Whenever the female singer sing.
That's what I'm saying. Like this band is very indie. Like
yeah.
Indie is one of my like soft spots when it comes to music too.
Angelo, out of all your recommendations over the year, this is one I definitely be putting in my looking to this.
Killer. Like I love that band.
Yeah, that sounds like I love the Belle and Sebastian. Hey, Paul Duck Tucker. All I need to know is hear the
that's
Tucker.
why I was like waiting, honestly, for the quacking.
Well, Ramona, what do you think of that music?
I like it. We just listen to not a lot anymore, but a fair amount of like chill wave and stuff like that, and that kind of like falls right in that category.
As soon as I I heard the name, I said to Ramona, I said I know exactly how this is gonna sound, and I know I'm gonna like it, and it is exactly that, and it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, like
it is. It really is. And look, Fred digs it too. Fred digs it too.
Whoa.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna say with this band, like I say within the last year, I've gone through a lot of transformation and different stuff. This band has probably, like, even when I was in the Philippines, this band and that album, Untourable album, like healed me. Like it was really healing music.
That's
like
awesome.
You know, that slow speed of music sometimes is what you need to heal as a person. And that's
I love it. I love it. People think I just listen to punk and all, but I love that Belle and Sebastian. You know, I love that mellow.
Yeah, Sebastian's been around forever too.
Yeah,
like, I love that band.
Yeah, me too. And it's just different. And sometimes you just need very good pick there, Angelo. I'm impressed.
I went kind of far with it, but that was like that just hits me. Like
that was a good pick.
I feel like I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say and again, I guess because I like music like this too, so it's like I could really imagine like putting headphones in and like sitting on a train or sitting on a airplane, and, like just vibing out.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but
yeah, totally, of course.
Oh, me too.
Old fingers to mouth. Yeah.
Magnificent.
On 5 Crab Beach.
A recliner.
Anytime, guys.
Yeah. Magnificent. All right.
Thank you.
Like we're hanging out with the skunks. Let's just say. Magnificent.
Oh, I like that. And the raccoons.
Yeah, hanging out with the skunks. All right, here we go. And
WEED. LOL.
You know me, Grandpa. All right.
Hey Harold, what we got next?
All right, yo. Why am I saying yo? I don't know why I say yo. I was stuck between two spinnings this week. I've been spinning the new Ben Queller.
Yes, Harold Shasha.
Yeah, but this new album, he came out with a new album. And it's his new music, and he didn't think he was ever gonna. I shouldn't even talk about it if I'm not gonna say that's what I'm spinning. But anyway, he came out with some new music, and he did not think he was gonna be able to come
Who
up.
is it? Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Vinquella.
Oh.
Yeah, am I saying it right?
That's crazy. He has stuff coming out because I haven't really heard him since the early 2000s.
Well, you know what happened? Unfortunately, he lost his son in a car wreck. And he didn't think he was ever going to make music again, and he started making music again. So I love him. But I've been spinning that, but he's going to come out with a whole album pretty soon. So I'm not going to spin that. What I've been wanting to spin is something a little bit higher note. Is Swami John Reese. Let's just say. And if you never heard of Swami John Reese, he is the lead singer of Rocket from the Crypt. The punk band Rocket from the Crypt. Early punk, not really early, but from the 90s, early 90s. He used to be called Speedo in Rocket from the Crypt, and then he was named another name for another band. He was in a bunch of bands, but I really like Swami. And I know Gene and Ramona watch Yo Gabba Gabba. He's Swami on the original Yo Gabby Gabby. I think that was his name on the Yo Gabba Gabba, Swami. But anyway, I did not know he had new music out. And he has a new album out. Gene, are you familiar with Swami from Yo Gabba Gabba? I know you're a big Yo Gabba Gabba fan, too.
Yeah, we were just discussing. We're like, is it this guy? And I think we know who it is.
We think it's the guy who introduces the music segment.
Probably so. Yeah.
It's the only person who I can think of that would match the description with the word Swami. So.
Look at those names, girl.
I'm guessing.
Here's my question. No, when were they? Oh no, 1990. No, I don't think so. I thought that these guys were another offshoot from Bauhaus, but I'm wrong.
Who's that? Rocket from the Crypt?
Yeah. Oh, they reunited in 2011 for a one-off appearance. On
they're offshoot from the band Pitchfork. They were. That was way early.
I know. I was like typing in Rocket from the Crypt so fast, like waiting to see somebody's name from Bauhaus, and I didn't see it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So Rocket from the Crypt was a great band in the 90s. Kind of punk. Got a little bit, got signed to a major label, but they were always great. But he makes solo music still. But here's one of his songs. I'm not gonna go too far into it because we had other stuff to talk about. This one's called Boomerang. Boomerang. Here we go. Let me
This just got posted 3 days ago.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What's that?
This just got posted 3 days ago.
Yeah.
This is brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
That's so funny.
Brand new. Brand new. That's why I'm spinning it. It's brand new.
Very, very, very special.
I like to hear the hook.
Pick up the phone. Excuse my ancient ways. My chick alone is the only way I get to you. If you're gonna push me down, I'm never gonna get back up to you. I'm not your boomerang. I'm not your boomerang.
Yeah, it's very good. Swami has great music. Every band that he's in, he's always great music and different styles. So we got two hits right there for you: Swami John Reese and Angelo's. What's the name of the band again? So I can type it in there, Angelo.
Man, I Trust.
All right, and then Ramona, Gene, separately, individually. Do y'all have a spinning?
Do you have
I don't like to lump. I don't like to lump. See, I feel bad to go to Gina.
No,
Yeah,
we
have a
do
spinning.
have
You know,
separate,
like,
but we
like,
can also. It's nice, we have the flexibility where if only
Yeah.
one of us is gonna do it.
100%. That's what I like it. That's what I like it.
Do you have one? Do you want to do one? Because I have one too, but
Yeah, I mean, mostly what I'm listening to is my own stuff because I'm trying to get something out.
Oh,
But
I'm down for that.
I haven't been listening to much, but one thing that I legitimately have been listening to, because since March 10th and until the 21st, which was 2 days ago, Lil Nas X has put out 7 singles over the course of those like 11 days.
Wow.
So he's like putting an album out one single at a time, and they're all fierce. And then it also has me listening to his old stuff too. So that's been fun. But yeah, mostly my shit right now. Hopefully I'll actually do something now.
Yeah,
We'll see. It remains to be seen.
And Ramona, we didn't talk about our project that we're going to be doing too.
I know. Well, yeah, we got it. Whenever we're ready, we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
and that oyster remix that we were.
I
talking
know.
About.
Yeah.
That's still on there.
Yeah, so gang, be on the lookout for our announcement because we're gonna need some help from the community for
There's gonna be a lot of music going on right now.
Yeah, for our new
I'm
project.
working on something else too, and I kind of wanted to say it, but I'm not going to. We'll figure it out.
We'll touch base whenever it comes.
I'm working on a
closer to
special
time.
song right now.
Ooh. Hey
I'm
Harold.
so excited.
Hey Gene. Hey Ramona. I know we're like right here in the show, but I want to like take it up a notch. I got something to show you guys.
All right, go ahead. Then we're gonna come to Gene's spinning in 1 second. Go ahead.
Shit. Wait, no.
That's
Gene
two
wants
Gene's.
to do my
All right.
thing?
Yeah.
Gene and then me. I'm just been excited to show everyone
Okay.
else who hasn't seen what
All right.
Yeah.
Gene,
There's been little teases throughout the night for sure
Yes.
for hawk-eyed viewers, but okay, so I'll just do mine real fast, and I mean you can play it if you want,
Yeah, I
but
will.
mine is Tremel Starks,
All
the
right.
guy who makes Trammell.
All right, wait. Hold on 1 second. I'm slow.
Fast. I expect you to be like a customer service agent. I don't want to have to say the name.
I'm not my tax guy. I was seeing my tax guy today. He was so fast, my mind was like spinning. Like, what in the world you're typing there, dude? You're showing me numbers. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Spell it again.
I'm sorry, I went so fast. I really did. I was like TRA.
No, I could have typed it, but I didn't have the window open. I'm sorry.
TRAMMELL.
All right.
Starks.
Tillman? Starks. Okay, there's a Tillman too, so I didn't know.
Okay. And
Nor is it Mel Tillis.
Any specific song?
Well, he made the music for the Weather Channel.
Oh,
It's all the old Weather Channel.
Weather Scan.
Yeah, you could play Weather Scan. You could
Okay,
play
I'm just doing Weather Channel. I'm just doing
just
Weather
do that.
Channel. I'm just doing Weather Channel.
Yep.
Oh wow, man, Gene, you have such.
I always come in with something unexpected.
I know. Let's slow this up. I'm watching the ad.
I need that in my life, Gene.
I gotta check this
totally.
out. I gotta check this
I don't
out.
play when it comes to chill music.
Oh, all right. Let's listen to this.
I'm very not chill when it comes to my chill music.
Let's check this out. This is Tremel Starks.
I think that's how you say his name. I think he's
Okay.
Swedish or something like that.
All right. This is good old days Bobby's theme, but it says Weather Channel music, so I don't. They probably play a few of his tracks on there.
See, that's and then
You'll probably recognize it.
None of your business is laughing. This is what Gene listens to.
I've been laughed at this for my whole life,
This
and
is
then
what-
the internet showed me that I'm not alone, and there's other people who like this
That's
stuff.
right.
There is nothing wrong with what you like. There is.
And I'm not embarrassed. I don't care.
Hell no.
Exactly.
Once
Exactly.
you hear this, you're gonna be like, how could you be?
Yeah, it's like whenever I listen to something, my wife says, "Why are you listening to that?" I said, "I like it." Okay, because there's some stuff I like that's so off the wall. I like it. Okay, that's all the explanation anybody needs. I enjoy it. So here we go. And how many people haven't been watching the Weather Channel and just listen to the music and don't even look up at the weather and they don't even know what the weather is and just listen to the music, like
The music
the
is
weather.
fact.
Yeah, they can't
All
even remember the weather.
I know. Here we go. All right, well, let's listen to it. Enough. Stop the talk and let's start the rock. Let's talk more rock. All right, here we go. Even though it's not rock, I'm sure. All right, here we go.
It's not.
Oh,
This is a good one.
I know.
Oh, come on.
You gotta up tempo.
Oh, of course I know this.
Isn't that like so hot? And now for this week's weather.
Oh yeah.
I'm feeling this right now. I'm feeling this right now.
Yo, 7-day forecast.
It's gonna be the whole week.
High in the 20s. Chance of rain, 25%.
I love
it.
Like I always call it like utilitarian music. It's like music made for something like this, you know.
Yeah.
Like I just love cheesy, especially from that, you know, like the 80s and the 90s,
Yeah.
cheesy like synth music that's like made for this kind of stuff. So it's just like score music and stuff, you know, where it's just like
Yeah.
I also really prefer instrumental music like a lot of the time. So it's just so good. So
There you go.
so
It's like I'm
awesome.
homesick from school all over again. Very good.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look at none of your business. You listen to the Weather Channel in the car watching for 8 hours a
There you
day.
go.
Wow.
I
Look,
can't
it's
blame you for
yours.
hating it then if that was
But
the case. I would
I-
feel, I would
Oh
feel
yeah.
it.
Whoops, sorry.
I'm Fred. We need to play a Ramona perform. We're gonna maybe play. I'm gonna load up the cover song in a little bit since we talked about what we're spinning it, and we haven't played that more than once. We only played that
I
once, I
know.
believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I promise, ever since I got those drums set up, I'm coming. Plus
All
everything
right.
else, like now's the time. I promise everybody in here, some shit's coming from me, bitch.
All right.
I haven't cursed yet.
What's the name of the song? So I can look at so I can load it up there, Ramona.
What?
The one for the Phantom.
Paradise?
Yeah.
Old Souls.
Old Souls.
Old Souls. There it is.
Mhm.
All right, there we go. Old Souls. That's why I was looking for cover, but I'm gonna load that up. But Gene, back to my point about the music.
Mhm.
I used to go stay at the Palace Casino, and whenever they would show about the hotel, kind of, let's say, like they would show like the
Yeah.
upcoming event, and they would play this one song, and they still play it to this day.
Oh, I love you. Got to record it if you get there.
I know. And whenever I go in there, I'm like, I listen to it, and I'm like, it just, it repeats after 2 minutes, and it's just like a song. Like when I hear it, I can listen to it nonstop. It just repeats. And, repeats.
They like
and,
designed it right.
and I'm on my computer, and I know the parts that are coming up. And sometimes when the grandkids are with me, like, here comes that part. Bam, bam, like I know exactly what it is. And so I could so much relate, and I could relate on that. And not only that song, but so many places I've ever been, hotels, or maybe bus station, wherever it is. I don't go to bus stations. When I said bus stations, I don't know why I said that. But anyway, I don't know why I said that. But you know my point. And like there's this just instrumental track that just is like a bug in your ear and just gets in there, and you just get hooked on it. And it's like, man, I like this song a lot. It's like, and it makes you comfort. It brings you comfort listening to it.
It's like, you know what? Like, in general, if someone, I feel like they're getting paid to make that song, like they already know what they're doing. It's like Jim Johnston, who used to make the WWF themes, like back in the day, where like there's like that documentary where he's like talking about writing Stone Cold's song, and he's like talking about like, yeah, I wanted it to sound like this because he's stomping and this, and I'm like, like people who like really know how to like put that detail in, and they're just like got that touch,
Yeah,
and they're just like doing it. I don't know.
And it's a talent. It's a talent.
Absolutely.
It takes talent to do this. You got to make it catchy. You got to make it where people enjoy it. You got to make it. People are going to listen to it over and over and over. You don't want to be rough. You don't want just a certain style, and you have to have that talent to pull that stuff off. And obviously, I mean, that song. I know I've heard this song before.
Yeah, absolutely. You would recognize a lot of them, probably.
Well, I'm
There's
sure I
a number of
would.
songs on there.
I'm sure I would.
Yep. I used to put the Weather Channel on and just listen to that when I was a kid.
All right, I'm gonna load up Old Souls too. Angelo, go ahead and make your presentation or your announcement, please. Sir.
Oh, can you play the after show chat alert sound?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, can I read? Allison said she said if you're ever on hold with USPS, you get a choice of 5 genres, maybe. But whatever you choose, you have to listen to for an hour on hold, which is like, of course. But then she said, one day I'm going to review the USPS hold music, and I would love that.
I would love that
like,
too.
We're always, especially
I would love that.
Like Social Security or something. You're on the hold forever, so it's
yeah.
we always are like
my
making fun or talking about the hold music. Like I love it.
I know. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let Angelo make his announcement in 1 second, and then we're gonna come back with a best of the week. Because gang, we got a special surprise for all of y'all.
An important one. We all got to talk.
Yeah. We have a best of the week that it's the best of the week for all of us right now. And we could do individual too, but there's one best of the week that we all agreed on, and we're gonna talk about this in one. Go ahead.
Nails? Why do you have your nail clipper in your hand?
I had it down right here, and I was just messing.
I'm sorry.
Like a fidget spinner.
The whole time you were
yeah,
talking,
like a fidget spinner. You know, like a fidget spinner. I'm just messing with it. Okay, that's what I do. Sometimes you don't.
Alert!
Thanks for saving.
Hey, hey, what's going on?
Yo, Angelo, what you got there?
Yo, hey. So I do have a new haircut, but I also did get a new tattoo.
Oh, Angelo, I bet you $1 million there ain't no other place on your body where you could get a tattoo. I told you this many times. Oh, I don't have $1 million. I don't have $1 million.
Surprise, Harold.
Oh,
I'm not going to show you lively like this because the neck does have a thin layer of skin and I'm all bruised up, honestly. I do have a picture for all our good friends here.
Oh, let's check this out.
All right, here it is. Bam. Well, while it loads.
It's loading.
Wow, that's a bam.
It's better when it takes longer.
Yeah, drum roll.
It's still loading.
That's a bam.
Yeah. Oh, here we are. Hang on. I don't know.
I'm getting doubtful here.
This is anticipation over here.
What is going on here? Okay, I'm gonna try one more time.
I'm gonna pull it up too, Angelo. I got your back.
Oh, you have, yeah, you can save it.
2,
yeah.
1. Oh.
Nice. The white around on that.
All right, Angelo. Let me take over. Let me do this. Okay.
I bet.
All right, take that off. Take that.
How did you react, Teresa?
But Teresa, you don't seem like the type.
Oh wait, let's let him show it first. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me show it.
Here
we go, gang.
Slow. Can I give how my mom like took it? Can I enact it right now?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so I was I was by the what's that?
I was gonna say you got to do a whole
different character.
A whole skit. Yeah, you got to do exactly.
Okay, I walked in the kitchen. I just got me like some cheese, some brie cheese, right? I was like, "Hey, mom, don't freak out." She was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?" I'm like, "Don't freak out. Remember I told you about the tattoo the other day?" She's like, "Yeah, I thought it would be somewhere I didn't want it to be." I'm like, "Okay." Here we go. Sorry, mom. Oh, and then she was like, "Oh, yeah, it's okay." I'm like, "It's okay? What?"
Right? Give me some emotion here.
I know. Honestly,
it's not even.
It won't look for Harold too. I don't know why they're censoring your tattoo. What kind of bird is that, Angelo?
Okay, so y'all know context. It's a Japanese. This is Japanese style crane on my neck. Oh, it's a water bird. It promotes like healing and positivity and good fortune and stuff. And that's what it is. Like that's why I got it. I've been through a lot in last year, and it's just going along with everything that's going on.
Wow. Well, let me see if I could share this. I can't believe this is going on.
That didn't
share
shut
this
up
thing?
both of
They're
us.
trying to censor Angelo.
Yeah, they don't want to.
There we go.
that's why
There we go.
Oh, look at that
And
baby.
that's a long tattoo. That's
Oh,
beautiful.
I haven't gotten a tattoo in like 6 years.
And you
Oh.
said it didn't hurt too bad, right?
Oh my
of
god!
like-
Yeah, it was like the easiest tattoo I've got ever.
That's
There we go.
Oh,
This is what we call in the industry a fine line tattoo.
There
yeah,
we go.
It's really
very
furious.
nice. Very beautiful there, Angelo. I didn't think you had any more room for one, and you proved me wrong.
You said, "Look at this canvas."
I know, I love that.
I know.
And I love you got mostly just like black and grayscale, but that eye looks a little blue.
Yeah.
I wish I would have peeped because this is the picture you sent in the group chat, right?
Yeah.
I feel silly for not thinking, oh, did he get a haircut? But like obviously you could have had it up or something, but I'm like, man, I didn't notice.
Hey everybody, here's the thing with me and my tattoos. Like I started getting only black and gray in the early 2000s because I thought my skin just wouldn't look good with like color because it's a little bit like different hue. But I also was heavily influenced by like East LA like cholo tattoos and stuff. So that's the biggest reason why I have like black and gray too. And there's a lot of like
I got a similar
emotion. There's a lot more emotion sometimes when you watch like black and white film and like even just art and just compared to like stuff with color and stuff. It's yeah.
No, Angelo, that is
and
awesome.
now tattoos are better, but I used to feel the same way, and my reason was because my father had a tattoo on his arm, a bicep tattoo, and it was unrecognizable. It just looked like a big splotch because it used to all be colors, and now it was all just green, and you couldn't even tell what it was supposed to be. And I was like, wow, if I ever get a tattoo, I'm not getting any colors.
But also, to be fair, that was literally like a Vietnam War.
I know. Well, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
it was like
you need to understand that it is better now, but still, that was like the motivation back then because I didn't know it was going to get better.
Yeah.
That
Angelo,
black and gray is a good look.
Yeah, Angelo, congratulations, my man.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah, you proved me wrong. You proved me
It's
wrong.
really
I said,
perfect.
I said, there's no other place Angelo could get one, and they proved me wrong.
And like me having a haircut, having this new tattoo, just so you all know, like I have been like really evolving this last year as a person, and I just want to shine, but not shine. Like Rod, like I'm humble. It's here, but I'm not like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
Angelo, you fantastic, and thank you for
I know,
sharing
and it's
both
really
those things to us.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
It's such good placement. It's right on the side. It's like a third of your neck or a quarter of your neck. You know, the back doesn't count.
All right, Mom.
Fred has a suggestion for you. He wants you to get an eagle for the Philadelphia.
I already have an eagle tattoo. I already have an eagle tattoo for my dad, actually. So
well, Crystal Skelly loves it. All right, Angelo, thank you so much for sharing. Sharing is caring. All right.
I feel to care, everybody.
All right, gang. We're moving on. Let's do the best of the week, and I'll introduce it. Okay, Angelo, you have the theme. You want me to play it? I have it right here.
Oh, it's around. It's around. Let's play it.
I'll play it.
Best of the week. Best of the week. Best of the week. Best of the week.
All right, best of the week. Now,
Ooh.
also, of course, getting a haircut and getting a new tattoo is probably his best of the week for himself. You know?
No, I have one more, Harold. Actually.
Oh, well, we're gonna get to it in 1 second. Is it something? Okay, you want to go first?
Let me just go with it because it was like a huge moment. It's like it was actually about like 22 years in the making. Last night, one of my favorite early 2000 bands. I got really into like indie and emo and all that stuff. One of my favorite bands from Ontario, Canada, is this band called Boys Night Out. And they played last night with another like key emo band called Armor for Sleep. But after 22 years, I finally got to meet Boys Night Out and like tell them how I feel, and that was one of just those moments like you don't get too much.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we took some funny pictures, and the lead singer ended up knowing one of my like close friends since high school. It was really cool. And I got a pic from one of my friends who got me a ticket to that show last night. So last night was like my freaking best of the lifetime, honestly.
Wow, that is the best of the week for Angelo right there. Congratulations.
Boys Night Out is like a band. I don't know. It's just one of those bands like leaves an impression forever.
Wow, that's awesome. And I'm glad you got to tell them how you felt.
Oh
You don't get a lot of people you enjoy, you don't get to tell them. And as an artist, I'm sure they appreciate it too. So I'm sure they
hadn't toured last night until like for like 18 years or something.
Wow.
So that was like really crazy.
You were only a teenager.
Man, when I found out about them, I was like 19 or something.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right. Well, gang, we have a best of the week also. I mean, we had probably all had something good that happened to them, hopefully. And gang, if y'all have a best of the week too, if something good happened to y'all in the chat, please let us know. This is what happened. What were we talking about, Gene, that we brought up this time? I forgot even what we were talking about.
We were talking about some other movie, and you were just like saying, we were just like, a lot of times it's hard for us to like want to follow up on a movie recommendation, and how we have a picky taste in movies.
Yeah. So Gene recommended them. Said, did you ever
I
see?
was asking you. I said I was looking at movies the other night, and I saw this movie. Do you know how you say the name of that movie?
Sonatine.
Sonatine. I don't know how you Sonatine. I don't know.
Japanese movie. It's a Japanese movie.
Yeah, it's a Yakuza movie.
Yeah, which is the Japan, mafia kind of deal. And I said, oh yeah, I did see this. This is how you say it, Takeshi, I think. Takashi
Kitano.
Yeah, Takeshi Kitano. So I said, yeah, I did. I was a big fan of it. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I love that movie. So we were talking about that. So I went and looked up his latest movie. It's a Prime exclusive, Amazon Prime movie exclusive. And the name of the movie is Broken Rage. Now, it's about. I told Gene Ramona watched it, and I think they thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I told Angelo, you got to see this too, because we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, definitely.
It was good.
Yes.
So
it was something.
It was something. I'll tell you what, gang. This movie, and if you. I don't know how the trailer would. Let me see if I could play the trailer.
How do you even show a trailer for that? That's like
I know it. Okay, let me just describe it. Okay, it's the type of movie I love. It is about a hitman. That's what he is. He's a hitman. I don't like to spoil too much stuff or nothing. But every day when he goes get his assignments, he goes to the restaurant.
I know. Are we gonna talk about it or not? Yeah, we gotta like.
I'm gonna just blab it out there. All right, but he's a hitman, and he goes to this one restaurant every time he has an assignment to kill someone, and a mysterious envelope shows up, and he gets the picture, and he's told who to kill. So the first movie plays out. The first half of the movie plays out where it's a serious. It's not. They have some violence in it, but it's.
It's violent, definitely. Yeah. But it's, it's not like extreme, but it's pretty violent.
Yeah. Compared to the other movies, it's really not that violent. So, it's a story about him being a hitman, and he gets caught, and the police set him up to turn on the bad mafia gang. Set him up, and they would give him his freedom if he goes along with them. So you watch this movie, good story. And then the movie ends. Then you come on the screen, it says spin-off. And now you're seeing something different, okay? Where they show the city, and all of a sudden, instead of showing the city, it just goes sideways, and you hear, and this movie, it tells the same exact story
scene for scene.
Scene for
Like
scene.
shot for shot. Like
shot
it's
for
like,
shot.
They shot
Dialogue.
the movie twice.
Yes, they shot the movie. Everything. The dialogue's a little bit different, of course.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, and I think there's
yeah.
it's a little different, but like
yeah, a
it's
little different. But basically,
much
it's a shot for shot scene of the same movie. But gang, you know you're into something outrageous. Where the first scene, whenever you see the first scene in the first movie, he walks inside the restaurant, you know, and he gets to the side. Well, the first scene, of course, and he's so cool and calm, you know.
Cool, and
yeah,
he does in that first half of that movie. He does everything right, like James.
Yeah,
Bond.
like it's ridiculous.
Like
he's
exactly what he's doing. He's like the coolest guy, most cold-blooded killer
Yes,
ever.
yes, very cool guy, like a Chow Yun Fat from a Hong Kong. If you ever saw like Chow Yun Fat, or you know, like
and he's like an old guy too, so it's like he's like a very old guy.
Yeah. He's like been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So you know the scene for the second half of the movie starts when he does the exact same scene when he's about to walk in the restaurant, but he can't open the door, and somebody from the inside the restaurant, these young girls and they hit him on the head, and he just hears like a silly. So the whole movie, the second half of the movie, is just an outrageous slapstick, silly
alternative reality.
The guy's clumsy. He's like an Inspector Clouseau kind of guy.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's good.
It is so funny and
so packed full of gags and jokes.
Really,
like
like,
Naked Gun, like to the most extreme level.
Yeah, he's a legend. That's legendary, like movie stuff.
Yeah, and it's just a funny slip, and it. Now, I wish he would have had the third part. The third part looked like a spin-off of the spin, but
I know
it in the movie. I mean, he can't go on forever. But anyway, the movie, the second half was incredibly funny. Oh my goodness! And we all watched it, you know, and it was just. And look, if you don't know how you say his name, Takashi.
Yeah, Takashi.
You know, he's known for making violent gangster movies. You know, he's like the Martin Scorsese. Yeah, he makes all kind of violent movies. But he's an artist. And you could tell this movie was his. This is art. This is his art. This is what he wanted to do. Because you might know him from that game show that plays on
Castle. People, they used to play it here, and it was called MXC, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yeah, on Spike.
Oh,
and they would, like, redub the voices with like funny American guys just like saying funny stuff. But it was just like a overdub of Takeshi's Castle, because this guy has been like a beloved celebrity over there in many different avenues for years and years and years.
Yes, and he is a true artist when he comes to his movie making. A lot of his movies are long, you know, they have long extended shots. He's a serious, but he loves comedy. And this is, I could tell this was like his dream to make something like this, because he touched into stuff like this before where he played a character, but they had another character of him in the movie. And it was like kind of weird. Like I think his art is, he don't know who he is, and he's just two different, like in his.
Yeah, he has like a very like split duality with his personality.
Yeah, with his personality. And I'm gonna tell you what, I give this 5 crabs this movie. It is recommended.
I was like worried we were gonna wake up our family, you know, like it was so we were laughing, howling, and we were tired that day. Like we were out all day, and I was like, we gotta watch this. I'm like, I don't want to watch it without you. Like I'm so glad we powered through, because it's only an hour. It's really short. Like
yes, it's a right movie.
So good.
Yes, and
so good.
Angelo, anything you want to add in there?
Yeah, I love too like what coulda should have been kind of situations. Even like this made me think of like comic books and like art. Like what
definitely
could it be?
Definitely.
Like it's definitely a 2-panel like comic in my mind.
And there's scenes in there that I'm just like wondering, okay, now he's got to go kill this guy. What's gonna happen to this scene that's gonna?
I know, but you already know what's gonna happen, so you're like, oh no.
I think the ones that I guess that when he challenged the guy on the treadmill.
Oh, I knew that scene was coming.
I guess when he lit his kitchen on fire, I knew that was gonna.
Yeah.
It was
I knew that was gonna happen too. I knew.
Yeah, I can't remember. One of my favorite things was that they were saying they called him a mouse, and then he showed up in mouse.
I know.
He had a mouse thing. He had a mouse ears on for like one shot, split second. Like the cutaways were crazy. Like it was insane. Like whoa, like really, and the attention to detail was like so.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Incredible.
Can I say my favorite scene?
Yeah.
It's the second time when he goes back to the cafe and he's going to go in, and instead of getting hit in the face with the door, it's like he almost just like slips for no reason and he like falls on the floor, and then like 10 people come out and run over him. Like,
And then when he walks in that time, the first day he breaks the chair when he goes in, and the second time the whole bookshelf falls on. And he's all dead on the floor. The guy
oh my god! And I love Ramon. I love that scene because he looks normal, and then whenever everybody walks on his head, he walks in the restaurant and he has the toilet paper in his nose. And he's all bruised up. Oh my god! And the parts that stand out for me is like,
sorry, Fred.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're right.
I know. I'm not gonna give him those spoilers.
That's it.
But I'm gonna tell you the interrogation scene and the scene where he's in the lineup for the second part of the movie.
I can't.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna have to talk about that after the show.
And it's short. It's like it's just like an hour.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's an hour and 6 minutes, and I'm not gonna give no more spoilers out. Shame on me, but it's hard not to talk. Not talk. Spoiler alert! It's hard not to talk about. But again, this was our best of the week, and I think everybody who enjoys this show, you will be because we need to go through half of the stuff.
And they like understand like where we're coming from, so it makes it even more like interesting to them.
Yeah, you're gonna love anybody. Oh, the name of it is I tell you what, I don't want to spoil nothing, so I don't want to play the trailer, but it's Broken Rage, and it's on Amazon. It's free on Amazon.
I assume the trailer isn't going to spoil that much. That's
they might spoil a little. I don't like to play trailers. Some people don't like to watch trailers because
play like 1 second, Harold.
No, I don't. I don't want to.
No, I think that's fine. You don't have to play it.
And I don't like to.
If someone wants to watch, it's so funny. I mean, like if you like goofy slapstick, like it really is good, funny.
And it shows the scene when he's in the lineup and all. That's I don't want to play it. I'll put the
both lineups. I can't.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the image up, and this is the screen. This is the what the movie is if you're on Amazon Prime, and this is but it's Broken Rage right over here, and this is the screenshot. It's free on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon. Of course, you have to watch an ad at the beginning, but it is what it is.
How did you manage? Listen, I just want to say, this guy is telling you right now about a Japanese movie's English translation, and somehow
I know.
the Russian version.
I know. That's the only one. I was trying to do the other version. I just did it quick, bro.
He just puts the really title, literally. Like
it's just funny because it's so many different languages.
I know. We're really
yeah. But I think everybody enjoyed it. And look, if everybody enjoys it a lot, we could talk about it again on another episode or something. You know, but definitely is one of them movies. And you know what? I'll tell you the truth. Like a movie like that, I went back and watched the second half of that movie again, just to watch.
I know. Even talking about it, I'm like, I know I'm going to watch it because it was.
Because it's so easy.
Not that hard. Yeah.
And it's such an easy watch. It's just an easy watch. It's the second half goes by so. It's an easy watch.
Well, it was like I already had the premise spoiled for me, and I was still like laughing out loud. Like,
you can't. You don't know. Yeah, you're not ready. Like, because even
you're not ready. You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this.
Amount of just like gags.
You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this. All right, but let's get off the chat on the movie. But gang, that's a good recommendation. Broken Rage on Amazon Prime. Please, everybody, go watch it if you enjoy this kind of movie. I think you really will like it. And then of course now I'm stuck I've been watching nothing but Japanese movies.
Yeah, watching Takeshi Kitano.
Yeah, Takashi. Yeah. Boiling Point was kind of. He's a look. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you go back and watch this guy's work, some of his stuff is out there. Okay, some of his stuff is like there's shots in some of his movies, and this is not this movie, but there's some shots in other movies where they're just hanging. They're trying to escape from the other mafia gang, and they're just at the beach playing. And it's a lot of his movies is about bonding. Like you could tell, like that's their culture, and it's just like bonding with each other in different ways that we bond. Americans bond with each other. It's a different culture, and some of his shots are you don't hear no dialogue for 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's just like a more because it's just like he really is just like communicating his like style.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, and some of his movies are violent, and some are just silly comedies, and he's just out there, and that's probably why I appreciate his work so much. Not everything hits. I'm talking about his older movies. Like I said, Boiling Point did it. I was watching it. I'm like, this just doesn't connect to me, because the way it plays out and all, and some of the scenes, because some of the scenes are out there. But it's always an interesting watch. And when he hits, he really hits. And this one, I'm not gonna. You better get your wife to love. I think you better get your wife to love. Yeah, you better. Now look, Fred, watch it with subtitles. I don't know if they have a dub version, but please don't watch it the dub version. It's gonna. I can imagine that.
I didn't see. I didn't
see a dub version.
Yeah, I don't think that there was. Yeah.
And shout out to Amazon for giving him the budget to do it. I mean.
It's so funny. I could have never known how much I would be, and I don't like laugh out loud and stuff like that. I just really,
I know, man.
Laughing, oh my gosh.
I do, but that's besides.
Well, laughing Harold.
Oh, gang! I know it's getting late. Yeah, I know it's getting late, but I'm hoping tomorrow. You see this crawfish? The restaurant, they have a restaurant in New Orleans, and I'm hoping. I just got a message right before I got on there. It said, all you can eat boiled crawfish tomorrow for $15 a person.
$15. Wow.
$15. No, it starts at 11. It says till we run out, so I won't be able to go to after work. I told my wife.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
I hope they don't run out. I hope they save some for the dinner crowd. I mean,
everyone's gonna play hooky from work tomorrow. They're gonna have to be calling in the National Guard because everyone's calling out for crawfish day.
I'm gonna miss out. Oh well. I'm going to make it. I'm going to leave right from work and go right over there.
We're going to make it, and we're going to send that crawfish energy. And if you leave a little early, no one's going to tell.
Yeah. All right. Now they know. Thanks a lot, Gene. You just
you're the one talking about it.
I know.
I have an eye doctor appointment next Monday. I hope maybe I'll leave early next Monday to go to my eye doctor, and I could go to.
That's yes, and you get to reward yourself for having to go to the eye doctor.
Yeah. And then Sunday we're going to that seafood boil, so that's going to be Yeah, Fred, don't worry. You don't need it. Ain't like
it's
a
not,
movie.
Yeah, it is not wordy. Yeah,
it's not a wordy that you're gonna have to read a novel for this. I mean, it's one or two lines at the most. I think it's not many lines in there. In there, so I like subtitles. I just
the words are like not the most important jokes in the movie.
Yeah. You probably don't even need to read them.
Yeah. You could probably turn the subtitles off and you'd be good.
Yeah, but I know people they refuse to watch. Like I have somebody who works for me, and I'm like, man, this movie's good. Yeah, but they have subtitles. I say, yeah, but.
Do you want to watch a movie or I know?
But
and I think it's lot
different.
Like to have to watch and then read, and it can be hard to like.
Yeah. And
you know what I will say, instead of saying something nasty, here's what I can say for myself. I can't read a book. I got to listen to the audiobook. So maybe that's like kind of a similar thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people just don't like that medium, you know.
And some people are more visual and they like to see what's going on the screen and don't
Yeah,
want to
totally.
be distracted.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go, Angela.
Angela Pointington.
But I've been watching subtitled movies for
Well, I was gonna
30
say, Harold,
years,
you're so biased. You like mostly
you
watch
love
subtitle
subtitles.
movies.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that.
Even when I watch American movies, I put on I don't even listen to the dialogue. I'm like reading the subtitles, even in
Yeah, I
American
know.
movies,
You're looking
you know?
at someone who spends like hours on TikTok and with almost never have the sound on.
Me
I
too.
watch
Me
everything
too. Me
silent.
too. Me too. Me too.
Mhm.
I'm just used to it, so I'm biased on that. You know, I am.
Yeah,
I am.
totally.
And but my wife won't watch a movie with subtitles either. I mean,
Yeah, I think it really is. It's like visual versus like someone who I don't know why I can't think of what the opposite of visual is.
Yeah, because I told my wife,
Audio.
and she's watching YouTube Reels and she's watching. I said, just turn down the volume and read the
I
subtitles.
know, you're like my ears.
Yeah, all right, I'm just reading some of this stuff. All right, gang. I mean, we've been on for a good while now. We are gonna let all of y'all go. Everybody, thank y'all so much for
Yes,
watching.
thank you.
Fred, we are gonna have you back on in a few weeks
Of
or something,
course.
and
Thanks
we're
for
gonna
hanging
so you
out.
can meet. Yeah, we'll make sure Angela don't have a show to go to this time.
I know, Angelo.
Angelo just like hey, he just had a reason with his life that day. That's when you got. Was that the same day you got the tattoo, or is that when you got? Yeah, and the haircut.
Wow,
Right?
you went
Yeah,
wow,
so
you
were
went getting
just
a
like,
haircut.
It's
You
okay.
got
You were like living your life that day.
yeah. Angelo was like getting everything
got you.
changed in their life. Angelo, your hair looks not mighty fine, my sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You got a haircut too, though, Harold. But I can't not point that out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
look, gang. And look, if y'all don't know, I'm doing these food reviews. And let me see what we're up to 497. We only have 4 more to go to 500. We only have 4 more to go. So we gained another 3 for this video. One thing I learned this past weekend: if you do food reviews, you got to be controversial. Because if you do one that everybody agrees with, not too many people are gonna be, it still gets good views, but
interest.
Yeah. Controversy causes views. Non-controversy. Yeah. That's why next week I'm coming on the air with no shirt on.
What?
That
Really?
really got me. I don't know why I felt really felt.
I don't know why. I just made that up. All right,
Harold, you're gonna have to do that now. Honestly,
I'm gonna get me a tattoo next week.
Okay.
Now that's
All right.
controversial.
Oh well. I need to cause controversy. I don't know, but anyway,
I want you in the Little Drummer Boy. Oh, I know.
There you go. That's controversial. All right, that's controversial.
I want you as a Little Drummer Boy all week next week.
Yeah.
All week. At work.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually I put up the reviews and I put it in some Facebook groups and people argue with me, like I read last week. Like this one guy said, "Yeah, dude, your reviews suck." Yeah, I put this pizzeria place, and everybody's
so funny.
Oh, everybody loves it. Oh, that is the best place. That is the
Right?
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so underrated. Like no
You need
controversy.
to get back to another cafeteria.
Yeah.
Were you talking about the one who was talking smack and then recanted?
Yeah.
And apologized
He,
and deleted it.
They literally was like,
It was so
blah,
fast.
blah, blah. You should think about what you say or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like talking some kind of smack. I don't even remember. And then hey, man, I think I just kind of was feeling bad about myself and I took it out on you and I'm sorry.
It was a lot of
It was really,
emotional reflection. And
he was
so deep. I couldn't believe it.
And if nobody
was a
watched,
big turnaround.
it was like the first time I put up the review, he said, "You suck. Oh no," he said. I went to Piccadilly cafeteria. He said, "Piccadilly sucks, and so does your channel."
I was like, oh.
Okay,
it was so wild.
Yeah, I just laughed. I didn't say a word. And he comes back 2 minutes later. "Oh man, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't come off mean." No, you just said my channel sucks.
You suck.
Yeah,
you suck. I don't want to be mean, but you suck.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be mean. I hope it didn't come off that way. I'm sorry. It's just my grandparents brought me to Piccadilly whenever I was a kid, and I hated it there. Okay. I said, hey, look, everybody, and I responded. I said, everybody has, yeah. I said, everybody has their different opinion. No problem. Then he writes back. He says, oh, I would have been offended if I would have been you. You know, but
all right.
I know.
Stop.
What do you
yeah,
want?
but then he said, but I can tell you're a good guy. You don't suck. He said, you're a good guy. You don't suck.
Sure, you're not more offended.
Did he subscribe?
I'm guessing he did. I don't know.
Out of guilt.
Yeah, and then the last time he posted, then Bonnie was talking about that. He said, "Oh, I remember when my grandparents brought me there. I love the chopped steak with chili sauce on the side." Dude, you just said you hated it.
I can't.
Yeah, you just said you hated it that your grandparents brought there. Now you love it.
We love you. I understand. You know, listen, we're all wounded. Okay?
Yeah, literally.
It was really big of you to be able to turn it around, even as much as we're laughing at it.
Hey, I don't let that stuff hit me. You know,
like and especially when someone is like immediately examining their own behavior and
when it's so absurd to begin with. I mean, how you can have such a big reaction to that.
You know what? And I'm not going to keep this, but you know what my opinion is? You know, if I go on YouTube and give my opinion about restaurants, and I could say, look, I didn't care for this place, this food was bad, or whatever it is, then I got to have a thick enough skin for somebody to tell me, hey, I don't like you. You know, I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you eat with your mouth full, or whatever. Oh, whatever it is, I gotta have thick skin and say, you know what? I dished it out there and gave my opinion about the restaurant. Guess what? And unless it's something very obnoxious and mean, you know, just mean,
well, that's not
mean,
that's
you know,
not cool. Yeah.
Bud Ruck and right, Harold.
What's that?
Bud Ruck and right, Harold.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm throwing myself out and and talking about these things, I gotta have a thick skin, and some people won't agree with me, and I'm fine with that. I guess I'm just giving my opinion, you know. And I feel bad. I felt bad after. I'm like, man, maybe they were just having a bad day. And people say, well, you should talk to the manager. But then I'm saying, it's not my job to talk to the manager if I had a bad. I'm just giving you what I was presented to me. If I got to go in a restaurant and every time I have a bad meal, go talk to the manager and make it right, I don't want to deal with that. Serve me right the first.
That's more work on your part.
That's more. Yeah, that's more stress.
Yeah,
that's more stress. Yeah, I just want to go enjoy my.
Already got a bone in your chicken tender. You don't want to have to talk to someone else.
No. And then they go on. Well, come back and we'll give you some free. No, I don't want to go back to your restaurant.
I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Give me something now.
Yeah, it's like the guy went to that place and we waited an hour for burgers. And we'll come back and give us another chance. No, I'm not going back and give you another freaking chance. Burn me once, I'm not going back. I'm sorry. Give me all the free food you want. I don't want your free food. There you go. Yeah, I will sit Mr. Muscle. That's a good idea, Frank. All right. Oh, Nate, what can you do? All right, gang. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you, Mr. Ron. Nate's dad. Nate, thank you for turning us on to Rod, to your father. Nate, we learned a lot of stuff about Nate tonight. Unbelievable stuff from Nate about Nate. Nate. Wow. Angelo, 5 facts about Nate, and we learned too much stuff there. We learned a lot of stuff there. No, that was good stuff. I got to fly in his documentary that Nate made when he was a kid.
Native-mentary?
Yeah. Nate, what's the name of that documentary? I don't think it would be on YouTube, but I wish. Who knows? All right. Angelo, thanks for sharing your haircut and your new tattoo. Who has a song? I got a new tattoo. I don't know. Anyway.
Can we play the show out with...
Oh, with Ramona's. Yes. Yes. I'm glad you reminded me. I had too much on my mind with the other stuff. I forgot all about that. Gang, we're going to close this show off with a special treat that we presented 2 weeks ago for the Phantom of the Paradise episode. And we didn't watch it again. We didn't have time to watch it the second time. So we are going to watch Ramona's cover of the classic Old Souls from Phantom of the Paradise. So enjoy we're going to go out on this. Enjoy it. And we will see all of y'all next
Sunday, same time. All right? With more surprises and more fun and more crawfish stories. All right, here we go. Old Souls by Ramona. Welcome.
Get it.
Ramona.
Is this the same one?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Grace.
Oh, hey, what's up? All right, Angela, we're going to get started. Are you ready?
Yeah. Give me those. Give me these.
Oh no!
Give me that. There. That's the haircut. Just kidding.
Done.
Getting started now.
I'm here to pay your soul, specialize in rock and roll. I'll put you up to stay. I'm late on you today.
That's sick. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a long thing.
Yeah. Okay, look at me. There we go.
Hey Grace, how much for that haircut?
Free.